Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been over 20 years since my last confession. Confession is one of the oddest oddest concepts that I've ever heard of. I can go into a small little box, tell them things that I've done wrong according to their doctrines, and then they tell me a couple things I need to do so that I can then say that I've made my amends, and then I can let it go. So what is it really? It's a device for us to forgive ourselves. That's all it is. Because that person in that little box with you does not have the power to give you a yay or a nay, or tell you that you don't have to worry about it anymore, unless you give him that power. And if in reality, it's almost like an addictive behavior. Because I live in sin, I live in sin, I live in sin. Oh, hey, I'm fine for a while. I live in sin, I live in sin, I live in sin. Oh, hey, I'm fine for a while. I live in sin, I live in sin. Okay, it literally, you go back to get rid of the stuff so that you can breathe again. It's just an addictive behavior, right? But when people go to a confession, what are they really looking for? What are they really looking for? They're looking to clear their conscience. They feel they've done something wrong, and they feel as if they need to clear that out of their conscience. What is the conscience? It's the place in our subconscious mind where we hold guilt or fear. It's the place that where we, find fault. And what confession does, it gives you a tool to break free of it, because then you can put belief in the fact that it has been clear. I confess, so I can believe it is done. But as Joshua would say, it's your faith that heals you. It's your belief. That's what all the word faith means, is belief. It's your belief that heals you, right? It's your belief that clears your conscience. You have to look at your belief. Now, before that confession, your belief was you had these horrible things hanging over your head. After that confession, you had the belief that, all I have to do is 10 Hail Marys and spend some time outside, and I'll be just fine, right? Okay. So how do you get to that place without the anchor of the confession? There's a couple things. First and foremost, get very present. If the things that you are feeling guilty about or feel fault in involve other people, you should try to make amends with those people. Because in reality, they're the ones that you need to resolve this with. It's between them and yourself. Number two, you need to look at when those things happened, right? They happened in the past, okay? You can be reborn every minute of every day, okay? You cannot go back and change what you've done, but you can be here right now and say, I am solving this. I am fixing this problem. And sometimes, the transgressions, quote unquote, that you've made, that you feel guilty for, don't involve somebody else, right? However, you have to take this moment and be reborn, start over, and say, I am forgiving myself. I am going to move forward and never do that kind of thing again, or do my best to never do that thing again. Take this moment and start stacking present moments. There's a couple different kinds of belief. There's just flat out faith, where you can just say, I believe. And then there's what I would call trust belief, where you have to see results over time. And a lot of times people won't give themselves a break enough to have just flat out belief. So they have to create trust. And trust is developed by results over time. And so in this present moment, what you need to do is say, okay, that was wrong of me, and I am not doing that anymore. I am moving forward, without that sort of action in my life, and I am creating something new. I'm creating a more loving, more caring world. I am, whatever it is that you want to put positively into your creative moment. And then what you need to do is then take the time to recognize the moments that you're creating, right? Take the time to give focus on the fact that I just lived today without doing that thing again. And then the next day comes along, I just lived today, that thing didn't happen. Now I've got 2 days in a row where I have surpassed that, right? Like I said, if you've wronged somebody, you should go back and make amends. But because that'll be much easier for you to move on yourself. But clearing the conscience really has very little to do with the people you've harmed, people you hurt. You don't know how they're reacting. You don't know what they're thinking. However, in this moment, what you're thinking is what we're talking about, because that's where the conscience lives. Deep down in that subconscious mind is the conscience, the little place that twinges at you, right? So you need to start deciding, that's not who I am. I am someone who is loving and caring and doesn't do that sort of thing. And I forgive myself. And that's the confession right there. That's all the confessional does, is give you the reason to exhale. Okay, I don't have to be guilty anymore because I did my 12 Hail Marys, right? The exhale is the release, and it's the connection with God. It's the release and feeling of source. I feel better. Well, yeah, because God is right there with you at all times. We talk a lot about the fear response and how the body stores air in times of fear. It does this so it can run further and faster. But when you go to confession, you go, okay, I feel so much better that I got that off my chest, right? Which is a really interesting thing. The words, off my chest. In a different video, I talked about the head and the heart, right? The guilt and anxiety and the guilty conscience sits upon your heart. It sits upon your feelings. It is one of the things that's stopping you from feeling God is those fear-based thoughts that give you a feeling. And so, give yourself confession, right? Recognize that you did something you didn't like. If you can make amends with someone, do that, because then it's not a constant reminder. But make amends with yourself too, and say, okay, that's not who I am. That's not who that thing that I did in the past is not something I like. It's not. I think it's a bad thing to do, and I am never doing that again. I am creating a loving, joyful world. I am moving forward, and I am treating people better. I am whatever the transgression is. You can come up with your own creative words, but it's not until you go, okay, I'm letting that go, that you can let it go. That you can let it go. Start stacking present moments in a positive way. that are unlike the transgression that you've had in your life that's causing the subconscious mind to nag at you. And then watch it all change. Because the only thing a priest did in confessional was give you permission to exhale. But you came back for another confession, didn't you? Right? You kept coming back because it's what gave you the permission to exhale. It's what gave you the permission to let go. Well, no one needs to give you permission except for yourself. You need to permit yourself to let go of things. You need to permit yourself. Now, having that outside place where you can go and say, here's my stuff, Father, take it from me. That's easy. It's not the pathway to really being with God, because you've created an intermediary. Right? And even Jeshua didn't want himself to be an intermediary. What he wanted was to show you what you could do, to give you the pathway to clear your conscience, to clear your subconscious mind, to get out of the space of fear and anxiety and move into your Christed self. That's what Jeshua ben Joseph did. The whole point of that message is this. If you have problems that are nagging, or issues or things in your past experience that are nagging at your conscience, only you can let it go. Only you can say, okay, I am moving forward. So today, right now, take this moment, and I want you to go, okay, what have I done? What is it? Pick me on. It's because I'm preparing for something. What have I done that is nagging at my conscience? What is this thing that is out there? Put a label on it. Okay. I didn't like doing that. I didn't like being that way. I didn't like the way I made that person feel. Okay. I am not that kind of person, and I am sorry that happened, and I am never doing that again. I am moving forward in a much more loving and caring way, and I am not transgressing into fear in that way again. Amen. And then exhale, because amen means so be it. So it's done. Amen. Oh, God, thank you. There's your confession right there. You don't need the priest. You don't need the church building. You just need to let it go and forgive yourself. And then exhale and let the fear go. Start stacking your present moments. Start seeing the results of that. And you will have a completely clear conscience, free of guilt and fear. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.